Hey fam, hello. Hey y'all, how are you? And happy Tuesday to you. I hope you have had an amazing day thus far. As always, I'm always wishing you a wonderful day. I'm here in Atlanta. I don't know what time it is, but I know it's after 6 o'clock. So I don't know if you're on the west side, the west coast, or what, and you haven't even gotten home from work yet, or whatever the case may be. But I just wanted to pop in and say hello. I'm here in Atlanta, so it's a rainy day in Georgia where I am. So hopefully I can bring a little sunshine to you today. So, and for those of you that are tuning into my channel for the first time, I am Valerie. I'm a trauma transformation coach, and I help high achieving women cultivate their healing and rebuild their self worth after a toxic relationship. So, that's who I am, and I'm so happy that you tuned into my channel today. So, I was just thinking, with so much going on in our world today, I don't have to remind you guys. I'm sure you saw in the news and everything where President Biden dropped out of the race, the presidential race, and of course he's going to continue his term on to January. But the fact that he dropped out and all the upheaval and everything that's going on with that, and with former President Trump being attempted assassination a couple of weeks ago, just with the economy, with the rent being sky high, and property being bought up all everywhere by investors or companies, I would say, and there's just so much going on in our world today and in our society. So I was thinking, we can't control what's going on out around us, externally, as far as the economy, as far as the political scene, with the different acts that have taken place. But what we can control is our little own private cosmos, our homes, or our own private environment. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. I just wanted to bring you 4 tips on how we can incorporate a little peace into our own personal homes, into our own environment. Something that could help us along with our faith, because I am, a believer of Jesus Christ, and I always put the Lord first. So with prayer first, and believing and having faith that God is watching over us no matter what's going on in the political arena, what's going on around us in the world, that we have faith in the Lord Jesus Christ, that he's going to watch over us and he's going to protect us and give us wisdom to make wise choices as we maneuver and navigate through this life in all this turbulence, okay? But with all that being said, that's number 1. Number 2, I want to bring you 4 tips that I believe that we can incorporate into our own environment. And these are some things that I do to help bring peace into your own life, to kind of help make your own personal space peaceful, even if the world is chaotic outside of us, okay? So first of all, I want to give a definition of peace, the word peace. So the definition that I have is defined as: peace is a state of tranquility or quietness from disturbance or conflict. And I'm going to read that again. Peace is a state of tranquility or quietness free from disturbance or conflict. And don't we need that? Who don't need that? We all need that, right? So that's what I want to talk about today, peace. There are 4 things that we can do, and of course there are other things, but these are some things that I do that I find that helps me tremendously in having control over my own peace in my life, because we do have control over our own personal peace. Number 1, I would say, would be to set boundaries. Setting boundaries are huge. And I've talked about this before in some of my other previous workshops and challenges about setting boundaries. Boundaries really helped us to have control over our peace, over our environment when we set boundaries. In setting boundaries, one good way of setting a boundary is learning how to say no. Something as simple as that, no. No is a complete sentence. We don't have to give an explanation. We don't have to, go into in-depth, give a dissertation of why we said no. But no is a complete sentence. When you learn how to say no, if you have a long laundry list of things to do, or you have so many people or activities coming at you and you just can't do it all, we have to learn how to prioritize our things. Prioritize what's most important, and then we might have to discard some things that we can't get to. And we also have to learn how to say no. So when we set boundaries, we're protecting our peace. We're protecting our heart, and we're also protecting our energy. Because when you're overloaded and overwhelmed with everything and everyone pulling at you, that takes away from your calmness, that takes away from your peace. And I've also learned that when you set boundaries, you actually teach people how to treat you. Because people will walk all over you. They will drag you if you let them. In the name of being, they might not even realize they're doing it. Some may, but most people, I want to, I always try to look at the brighter things, the brighter side of things. And I would say that most people would not probably realize that's what they're doing. But we have to learn how to set boundaries, because that's one tremendous way of learning how to keep some peace in your life and keep things balanced, so where you're not just pulled apart. So number one, learn how to set boundaries. Number two, I would say simplify your surroundings. Simplify your surroundings. And what I mean by this is, for instance, I give myself as an example. I work from home. So since I work from home, in my office and my desk, I have to make sure that my desk is in order. I can't really function with papers and stuff all scattered everywhere. Now, don't get me wrong. When you're really busy, things might get out of order for a minute, but I can't stay that way. I have to end the day with my papers and my things in order, and so I know where I left off and where I need to begin the next day. So that's just an example for me in my office area. I have to keep things in order on my desk because it helps me to be clear. It helps me to be able to think better. When things are cluttered in my living space, especially in my work area, I can't really think and concentrate like I need to, and it disturbs my peace. So I would say to learn how to simplify your surroundings. Learn how to try to be a little bit more organized. And that could be with anything in your household work, your work area, your car, whatever the case may be, whatever floats your boat or whatever works for you. But I've learned that when I learn to declutter my area somewhat, doesn't have to be perfect, but just have things in place, at least where you can put your hand on or put your finger on and you know what things are. So learn how to simplify your surroundings and just declutter your area. That really helps with your peace, okay? And let me see, number 3, I have them written down here, and these are not in any particular order as always. I just function better when I number things. Number 3, I would say nurture relationships. Relationships that are very important to you, nurture those relationships. Be mindful of the conversation that you have with those that you love or that you really care about. Be mindful of the conversation that you have. Spend quality time with those that you love, and especially for those of us that are married and have spouses. But even if not, if you have a significant other, your children, if you're caring for an aging parent, whatever the case may be, a close friend or relative, someone that you're really close with, a coworker, nurture those relationships that you really care about. Because, as we know and as we see, life is not, tomorrow's not promised. So we want to let the people that we care about and that we love, we want to let them know that we love them. We want to let them know that, we cherish and honor their time. So we want to have very mindful conversation, and we want to spend quality time with them and tell them that. We don't want to wait till something happens, or God forbid someone transitions on and we didn't share with them how we really felt, about them. So nurture the relationships that are in your life. Up on the nurturing relationships, you want to get rid of those relationships that are toxic. And that's what my platform is all about, discarding the toxicity as much as possible. So you want to get rid yourself of toxic relationships, as much as possible. Now, I do realize there are times that we have toxic relationships, maybe perhaps even in our own families. And I know you can't just discard a family member. You can't just completely get away from a family member. But however, if you don't live with the person, you can minimize the time you're in their presence, or you can minimize the time that they're in your presence. You don't have to be around them as much. You don't have to talk to them as often. If it's toxic and it's not doing anything to uplift you or uplift them, positivity, anything that's going to be positive and nurturing is fine. But if it's toxic, you don't need it. And we definitely need to discard of that, or, reduce the time that we're spending in the presence of people that are toxic and negative. That's that's another big one, just like that, set boundaries for me. So toxicity, we want to make sure that we let go of toxic relationships. So those are 4 things that I just want to share with you guys this evening, some things that we can incorporate into our own lives, our everyday lives, of just developing and creating a sense of peace in our own personal environments, especially since so much is going on around us, like I say, with the economy and the political things. And you guys, don't forget to go out and vote. We have, this agenda, this project, I'm sorry, I kind of jumped subject, but it's Project 2025. You guys, go ahead. I think I heard it was something like 900 pages, so I know you probably won't read 900 pages, but really do your research and looking at the nuts and bolts. At least get the skeleton, the meat portion of the bill and of the project, and read it, because there are a lot of different things, about 20 different factors of things. And I might do a video on that this week, about some of the things in Project 2025 that will really affect us as Black and brown people. So we want to be very mindful of what's going on in our surroundings, and we want to be mindful of what we can do within our own personal homes that will bring us or render us some sense of peace, although it's so chaotic outside. Okay, so that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope this was something that helped you. I hope that you could actually take some nuggets from it and glean from it. And again, like I say, go ahead and research that Project 2025. I believe I'm going to come on again another day this week and talk about that, because I actually have some pointers. I know a little bit about that project, and I love to share it with you, okay? So, yeah, I'll do that later this week. So that's all I have for today. I just wanted to pop in and say hello, let you know I was thinking about you, and that I wanted to share some helpful tips on how we can incorporate peace into our own personal environment, okay? So I'm trying to see, is there anything else I need to share with you guys before I get off? Oh, you already know, you guys know that my book will be released very soon, so stay tuned. And Jasmine Bailey was the winner of the book giveaway. I shared that on last week, so she will be receiving her book very soon, shortly. So my book will be released soon, so stay tuned for that announcement and the actual release of it. I ask that you, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to my channel, share it to anyone that you think might be of interest, and that these messages will be of interest to them. I ask that you like the video as well. And I will be going live every Tuesday. This Tuesday, I'm actually recording as opposed to just going live. So, but just come and join me every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. On my YouTube channel, okay? So subscribe, like, and I hope to see you again soon on the next video. And I will be back on. I'm going to try to come back on this week, not next week, and talk about a little bit about Project 2025, okay? So I hope you have an amazing evening. As always, I hope to see you on the next video, and you take care, okay?